welcome to the 21st race of the Cubecar season here at Pocono. With only 5 races left in the playoffs, this will be a bit of an interesting one, as we'll take a little bit of information about this track. It's a little different from ones we've had in the past. As you can tell, it's only got 3 corners this time instead of 4, so it's a lot more interesting. And all these corners are all based off of certain tracks. Can't tell you off the top of my head what these two are based off of, but I know this one here is based off of Indianapolis. There's the tunnel turn right there. So it's a very long track. It's about the same length as Talladega or Daytona, which is why we only have 80 laps, but this one should be a fun one here today. Actually, pause again. Let's look at our starting lineup for today's race here in Pocono. Starting on pole for the first time this season is the 53 of Among Us. Maybe he can win to get into the chase. And starting outside pole is Daisy in the 44. Also needs to win to get in. Row 2 is Shadow and Amori Cube. Row 3, Dumbcat and Sanic. Row 4, Bob the Builder and Doge Cube. Row 5, Jinx and Trolling. Row 6, Chow and Squid Games. Row 7, Igus and Donkey Kong. Row 8, Squidward and Hee Hee Ha. Row 9, Fear and Mr. Galia Lost. Row 10, Hubris and Cubendorf. Row 11, The Racer and Raccoon. Row 12, Retro and Packmobile. Row 13, Eggdog and Sheepmobile. Row 14, Miku and Melefox. Row 15, Meloetta and Pecorine. Row 16, McQueen and Gunn. Row 17, Bloodclot and No Maidens. Row 18, Colin and Maury Jr. Row 19, Imposter and Goots. Row 20, Sands Club and BV. And rounding out the field this week is the 80 of Raceland. So we're getting ready for a very interesting race here in the mountains of Pennsylvania. We'll actually be having 2 races in a row in the state of Pennsylvania, and they'll both be very similar tracks. As after this race tomorrow, we go to Nazareth Speedway, which is very similar to Pocono in shape, except it's a lot shorter. And unlike Pocono, it is unfortunately closed down and partially demolished to this day, but the outline of the track is still there. But that's one of 2 or 3 tracks on the schedule that are demolished as of this time due to one of many reasons. Just depends on which track it is, but this is a bit of an interesting one because you see right here, this fence right here, there used to be no fence here. It was just the trees. And we almost had an incident in 2010 where a car went into the trees and came back out on the track after getting up on the wall. So that's why they had to add a fence there. But Pocono's had some nasty crashes in both NASCAR and IndyCar. What's responsible for that wild flip with Steve Park and Dale Jr. in 2001. And then both back-to-back flips in IndyCar, or 2 catch fence crashes in a row for IndyCar in 2018 and 2019 that caused injuries to both drivers involved. So this is a very scary track, but they've improved on the safety over the years with safer barriers and all the stuff they've done around here. Of course, you can see there's still some guardrails left behind of a simpler time. But this is the 2020 version, so it's pretty accurate to what it is now. So, as you can see, the most iconic part of the track, what turn 4 out of turn number 3. But here we go. We're about to go racing here at the Tricky Triangle for 80 laps of chaos. Green flag is out, and who's going to fan out first into this first corner? A few people already looking to take the inside lane early on. It's going to be 3 wide for second between Sanic, Shadow, and Daisy for the first corner here. Daisy's trying to make a run on Among Us for the lead very early on through the tunnel turn. Here she comes through the bottom lane, and it looks like she might actually... No, she does not get it. Here comes Amori Sr. in the 2, looking to make a run on the outside past Daisy. Gets very close to the wall there, but now they're running side by side for that second place position. And 53 will stay ahead of Amori Cube for the time being. You can see Sanic right there and Packmobile as well fanning out way to the bottom. That's a very common thing to do at this track. You just got to hope that they don't go bowling and ram into a bunch of people on the on the chance that they actually do have that happen. But Amori seems to be a little bit faster. Actually, he's around the fastest lap of the race so far, even though we're only on lap 2. And now he's looking to catch up to the 53 and take that lead away. There's Bob the Builder, who, might I remind you that he's won 2 of the last 3 races in a row. He could potentially go for 3 in a row here if he wanted to, but he's just going to have to get past Amori Sr. first. And Daisy and Trolling just chilling right behind, waiting for something to happen back there. Very similar early top 10 to how it was last race at... Oh, darn, why do I not remember the race off the top of my head? It was New Hampshire. Yes, it was very similar to what happened at New Hampshire. And now we got potential battle for the lead as Bob the Builder now takes the outside. And will take away second from Amori Sr. as he flubs up the corner. And now he's trying to get that draft on the 53, trying to take that lead away. Now Doge Cube is the fastest lap, and here we go. 46 trying to go for the lead. Ooh, but he gets on the apron a little bit. He has to slow down. And Daisy's got to run on the outside here, and she's going to take second place away from the 46. Meanwhile, the rest of our top 10 just having a grand old time, as I believe Trolling did slow down Donkey Kong a little bit there. He must have checked up in the corner and lost a few spots. They're going to be 3 wide right here between these 3 in turn 1. Still going at it here. Donkey Kong being forced to side draft for Trolling, but it's not going to be enough. Dumb Cat is actually going to be the winner of that exchange as he takes the outside and gets away. Now Bob the Builder is falling into the clutches of the 2 of Amori Sr., trying to run him down for that lead spot. But interesting development after last week. After Raccoon had a poor finish last week, he actually fell below the top 30 in points. So now we have 4 slots open for the chase now instead of 3, so that'll make things a little bit... Actually, no, it was the Racer that fell out of the top 30. So another bad finish here would set him further back, but both him and Raccoon do need to get good finishes to cap off the season. Ooh, Doge Cube got really close to the 2 there. And Squid Game is going to get a big run on the outside, but is not going to get enough as he gets blocked by Amori Sr. There's Sanic in the 06 trying to make some decent headway. Takes a dive down to the bottom. Both the Doge Cube and Squid Games will, and looks like Amori Sr. is going to be the winner of that exchange. The inside seems to be worse in the tunnel turn than it is in other parts of the track, so it seems to be the suboptimal place to pass. But now Daisy slowly catching up to the 53, trying to take that lead away. She might have a run on the front straightaway right here. Let's see if she can get it. Still right on the back bumper, but now Bob the Builder starting to get some of that draft as well. It could be a 3-way battle for the lead, potentially. Looks like he tried to make a move to the inside. Yes, he is. He's going to try to make a dive bomb. And he gets around Daisy. No, he won't. Daisy takes that outside lane, and Bob the Builder's going to mess up the corner. And here comes Amori Jr. right behind, and Sanic in tow. And Sanic gets a great run to turn 3, and is trying to get past Amori Jr., or Senior. Can he do it? Oh, he messes up the corner. Yeah, it seems they want to run the bottom really bad, but once they run the bottom, they just lose all the momentum. And now Doge keeps trying to make something work on the bottom lane here. Let's see if he can actually make it work, because turn 1 seems to be the best for passing, for sure. So you could technically call this a super speedway, but it doesn't race like a super speedway. It's an intermediate at heart, but it's as long as a super speedway. Kind of like Indianapolis, which we'll be at in a few weeks, or a few races. Among Us now starting to extend his lead a little bit ahead of Daisy. Both of these two need to win to get in. Sanic, Doge Cube, Dumb Cat, and Hee Hee Ha. The rest of the field in the top 10 that already has a win this season. But Daisy so desperately needs a win after having a bunch of bad races recently. For a majority of the season, she is doing a lot better than her team owner in points, but now Cole has actually surpassed Daisy in points and is actually now in the playoff bubble. Another cube that just got on the bubble would be the 11 of Blood Clot, who is also in potential contention for the chase, but he is not running well so far, so that could actually end today if he doesn't have a good race. But 53 is still making a bit of headway ahead of Daisy here. I don't exactly know when they'll pit. This is a big old track, so I'm assuming around lap 20 or lap 30 will be when they have to pit. But if this ends up being a fuel mileage race, then that could be interesting. Daisy gained a little bit more there. She's right on the back end of the 53 now, trying to make a dive, but she can't seem to get enough momentum to do it. Is caution out? No, it's not. I just saw like a flash of yellow on one of the lights, and I thought the yellow was up. And she is right on the back bumper of him, trying to make a pass. She's going to try and do it in turn 3. Ooh, not again. They both slow up in the corner. Bob the Builder is actually falling back to 6th behind Squid Games, as now under attack from the 63 of Dumb Cat as well. And DK back there just hanging in the wings. DK is actually right below, I believe he is, potentially, he's right below the cut line for the chase, so he's been having a bunch of good finishes recently, so he just needs to get good finish after good finish, and he can make it in there without any problems whatsoever. Again, these two still scrapping at it for the lead, as I believe Shadow's now in the top 10. Ooh, 3 wide through the tunnel turn here. DK takes the outside and uses it to his advantage. He's going to pass 2 cubes in 1 turn, and he's going to get up to 6th. What a move for DK. Meanwhile, Eggdog and Hubris battling it out for position. These 2 cubes are already locked into the chase, but Eggdog not having a very spectacular season. A Sheepmobile who is on a pretty fine day. And Cole, who started in the top 30, now made his way up to 21st. And this big wad of cubes back here is scrapping for position. There's Gunn in the 47, who really does not need a bad finish here today. As he, oh my god, they're going to go 4 wide in turn 1. Maybe not, but it's going to be a very close. They almost went 4 wide, though. You saw that for a second, that this group is getting real wild and crazy. Most of the cubes in this group have been having pretty unspectacular seasons, with the exceptions of those who have won this year, like Igus and Goot. Well, Goots is below the cut line now, so you can say his season is still pretty unspectacular. But the only one in the top 20 in points is Igus. I believe Imposter as well too. So, actually, no, Imposter is actually doing really poorly in points this season as well. So. Packmobile trying to make a run on Cole for the lead. Can he get enough draft on the front straightaway to actually get past him here? Ooh, he takes a little bit of a look, but he's not going to get enough momentum here. So getting that draft, let's see if he passes him later on. Shadow having another good run in that 3. Stanek and Bob the Builder running side by side. You know, I actually ran a test race before this race started to test how the AI would work on this track. And Meloetta blew an engine before the race started, had to pull down pit road, and then Trolling blew an engine and wrecked the field. And I was like, okay, that's a bad omen for what's about to happen today. But no, they're running really good right now, except for this wad of cubes, which is actually evened out now. They're all starting to run pretty good now, trying to see what their fuel mileage can be. But now, Among Us actually tried to throw the block on Daisy, so she is definitely gaining some momentum, but just can't find the time to pass him. As the 53 has led every lap so far in this race. Let's see if Daisy can actually put a stop to that. Now Among Us gets a bit of a headway ahead of Daisy once again. Bob the Builder still in 5th, but now potentially under attack by Donkey Kong for that top 5 spot. He's looking. Takes the inside. That doesn't always work, and no, he's going to be forced down to the apron, and Bob the Builder's going to get away there. There's 2 cubes that have won this season and 2 that haven't. Trolling and Jinx. Trolling is definitely the best cube points-wise right now that has not won a race. At first it was Bob the Builder, then he actually did win some races, and now he's doing pretty good in points. But now Sonic and Donkey Kong working together to try and pass Bob the Builder. They're going to be taking the best possible corner to pass them in. Turn 1. And Bob the Builder's still going to get away as he got a great run on the outside. And Mori keeps slowly trying to catch up to the 44 of Daisy for that spot. Now DK's trying to use that outside lane to his advantage. He's going to get a run on Sonic, but ooh, he's not clear of Sonic, and now he's going to make a run on the outside. 2 original Season 1 veterans scrapping it out back here. And both of them are race winners. Or Donkey Kong not this season, but he sure knows how to win one. She's got to hope that cautions and pit stops are lucky to him today. Here comes Squid Games trying to make a move on DK for 6th. And no, it will not work out for him. Well, Shadow, Dumbcat, and Doge keep scrapping for the top 10 position. Doge Cube has now been forced out of the top 10. And this group back here. Pretty bad run for Pac-Mobile. Pac-Mobile's actually right on the bubble for the chase as well. Needs to either win or get good finishes to actually make it into the chase. And right now running 24th, definitely not a run he wants right now. Same for Raccoon in the 45. He's also having a pretty dismal season overall. That's besides that win at Richmond that locked him in, but now he's below the top 30 in points. So he just needs to make it to the chase in one piece and hopefully not fall out of that order before the chase starts. The cube that fell out of the top 30 recently was Goots. He's won a race, I believe, at Kansas, and ever since then, he has just not been up front at all. Where are the other cubes that are on the bubble? Gun is pretty decent in points right now. He's like 20 points above the cut line, but he's running 40th right now. If he continues to run at this pace, he might actually be below the cut line, which is not good because considering he needs that win to get in. He's running second to last right now with BV and Miku right around him. Daisy's still trying to pass the 53. She's going to take a look here. Is she going to try and make that pass? No, she's going to slot right back in and try and get that draft. She took a little peek, but she realized that would have not been enough for her to get ahead of the 53. She's going to try again another time. Bob the Builder back up to 3rd, but Omori Sr. fighting back for that 3rd place spot. There's Dumbcat, there's Squid Games, and there's the rest of the field. Shadow now the last cube in the top 10 as he tries to hold off Doge Cube. Daisy's still trying to get around the 53 for the lead. Doesn't seem to be able to find a way to do it. Taking a bit of a peek out of the tunnel turn. Let's see if she can actually try and pass. No, that 53 is just so good at blocking right now. It's very difficult for anyone to pass him, but these few right here are having a pretty good time passing each other, but Not doing a very good job of catching up to our leaders, that's for sure. Still got a 2-second gap, but anything can happen, really. Ooh, Stanek takes a very bold look to the inside of Omori Sr. for that position. No, he's going to lose it. And that might fall to Donkey Kong and Dumb Cat as well, because he's going to still be on that inside lane. He actually tries to side draft Donkey Kong. He's like, I want this inside, I want the outside lane. No, 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 you're being forced on the bottom. And now DK and Dumb Cat both get by the 06. Doge and Shadow now scrapping for that 10th place spot. But Shadow is going to be at a slight advantage here. And he will get ahead of Doge Cube. Sheepmobile and So Retro. These two have battled a bit in the past. And So Retro will win the race against Sheepmobile for the 19th spot. And Cole's gained a couple positions as well. He's up to 21st. Not too bad of a day for that team. Daisy still can't get around the 53. She's just trying every corner, but I guess... Oh, she's looking now. She's looking. She's looking. She's going to dive in the corner, but she might not get it because she's on the inside. No, she's going to get forced down and lose a ton of momentum. She needs to find a way to get to the outside to actually pass 53 for the lead. Ooh, almost 3 wide in turn 1 as DK split the middle to try and get past Donkey Kong or Dumb Cat and Squid Games. When he gets past one of them, he's going to fall back a little bit to the other. Should be coming up on pit stops relatively soon as there's Chow in the 96. Got a pretty decent finish last week at... yeah, New Hampshire. Yeah, it was New Hampshire. I forgore. It's such a boring track. I always forgore, but that race was definitely not boring, but only because of its unintended glitchiness. But he's on the outside here. Looks like Blood Clot in the 11 is going to get a free spot here because Chow is on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, back to our leaders. Still trying their best. Daisy's still trying to make a run the tunnel turn. I don't think it's going to work out for her. Actually, this will be in turn 3, but... No, she's still not getting any momentum. Here comes Sanic trying to make a run on Omori Sr., but he's on the inside. And here comes Squid Games with a run on the outside through the tunnel turn. And he's going to get it, and wow, Dumb Cat made a big dive trying to get past DK, but couldn't make it stick. And DK gets ahead of Dumb Cat there. Top 10 will remain pretty static for now because Doge Cube has fallen back behind Shadow and could potentially be in the jaws of trolling in the 33, who's looking for yet another top 10. Fun fact, he's got the most top 10s this season with 11, and a select few only have 9, and that's the second most, but the only one to break double digits in top 10s is the 33, who has been mildly consistent all season besides a last place finish, I believe in Milwaukee. We'll look back at that again later, but who knows. Now there's Chow in the 96 trying to make a run on Blood Clot in the 11, but he's on the inside, and that's not going to work out. As Blood Clot's going to use that momentum to try and get past No Maidens in 31. 31 is not clear. And the 11's going to get past him as well. If he keeps running the high line, this will be the way to go for sure, because he's making up more and more spots. There's the racer in the 16 who just fell out of the top 30 in points. If he finishes at least top 20 here today, he might get back in there and get his chase ticket back. Or his ticket punched in the chase back. Oh, wow. So Retro cut him off there in turn number 1, so he's not going to get that spot. And now Hubris and Sheepmobile are running together. Now Hubris is going to be on the outside when Sheepmobile gets here, so he might actually get a spot ahead of Eggdog. Oh, wow, Sheepmobile almost got completely cut off there, and he did. He's going to fall back behind Hubris and Eggdog, who both get past him. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens with pit stops here, as Shadow trying to make a 3 wide between Hee Hee Ha and Dumb Cat, and he dives to the bottom, and it's not going to work out. And it'll go back to being how it was in the past. Daisy's now losing a bit of momentum to the 53, but still within arm's reach. Just can't find the time or the effort to pass him. She's really struggling passing in these corners. Actually, we have a new fastest lap. It's the 5 of Hee Hee Ha, who has run the fastest lap of 52.360. This is the fastest lap of today's race. If we go green for the whole race, it should be around 120 minutes. Because it seems to be around a minute per lap, so... Or... No, it would be 80, it would be an hour 20. Yeah, not 120 minutes, an hour 20. Because of how these lap times work. So around average race length. DK running way on the bottom. Actually keeps his momentum a little bit, but Squid Games is still going to be there waiting on the outside to pass him for... Actually, DK actually passed him for 5th, and he's going to get help from Sanic, but Squid Games is going to get ahead of both of them here. And Daisy still trying to find a time to get past Among Us. Let's see if she can actually do it here. She's taking another peek. And she dives back down to the bottom. That's actually allowing Bob the Builder to catch up, because he is now under a second from being within our leaders, and so is, Mori Sr. is catching as well. So these two scrapping it out are definitely causing these guys behind them to catch up. And since their lap times are winding down quite a bit, pit stops should happen soon. But so far, no one's had any issues. And the last cube running is BV, who has lost the draft from the rest of this group. As your points leader, Hubris, having a pretty mid-day. We're running 17th right now. I believe the cube that's second in points no longer is Gun. It is, or not Gun. It is no longer Sanic. It is now Bob the Builder. So if he finishes good and Hubris doesn't, we could have a new points leader at the end of this race. Because he's only ahead of her by like 20 or so, maybe less than that. I think it's like 16 points, which is pretty close. Close, but not close, because you only earned 40 points for winning a race, plus getting 5 for leading laps, and 5 for leading the most laps. And Bob the Builder did that twice in a row by leading the most laps in both the previous races, and winning it. And, well, you know the rest of that story. Now he's catching up to Daisy to try and pass her. He could actually be going for 3 in a row here, as he goes to the bottom, tries to pass her again, and he will not do it. He will miss out on that opportunity, but now I think he's going to be stuck in the same endless loop, as Daisy just does not know how to ride the high line. We have a new contender for the race lead, perhaps. As even though Mori Sr. and Sanic and Donkey Kong back there all gained on that lap. So they're still battling each other per se, but they're not really battling each other. They're slowing each other down so that these guys can get up and fight them. Guy lost cuts across Jinx to try and get past Fear in 13, but Fear is probably going to be the winner of that exchange. Ooh, Bob the Builder may try to make a move on Daisy right here. That's not going to work out, though, as he forces her to the top lane. Oh, never mind. No, he won't. As it gets onto the apron, that's going to allow Among Us to get away a little bit. Ooh, he's making a move again on the bottom. He must have rolled a high aggression stack, as he really went down to the bottom there. Taking a look. Can he do it? No, he can't. He loses a lot of momentum in the tunnel turn, and now Daisy's all by herself with Among Us again, but by how long will it take for Bob the Builder to actually catch up to those two again? Not very long at all. He is caught right back up within... Actually, that was the tunnel turn just there. Those camera angles are so similar, I can't even tell half the time. Uh-oh, we got a message on the chat box. It's the 66 of BB on pit road. That might actually be our first green flag pit stop taker, because she took 2 tires and is fixing... Actually, she's fixing damage. So she must have hit the wall or something for her to get that damage. And for her to be falling back. So she's going to be hitting off sequence compared to the rest of the field. But now that we're getting close to halfway, it makes me wonder, will they pit right before halfway? Because that could be bad if they do. Now BB's out of pit road, 1 lap down. So she will be the first one to go 1 lap down. So if they pit around like lap 39, then they might not make it to the end. Oh, the 96 of Chow has had a tire go down. He is slow on the apron back there. Can he get to pit road? He's gaining speed now. It looks like he's going to come to pit road as well, so another off-sequence pit stop. But that might actually help him if... Oh, now he's on the grass. But if he's off sequence and we have a complete green flag run, they pit around lap 38 or 39, and they run out of, and they all don't make it to the end on fuel, then that could be the savior for Chow, as he doesn't need to. He can conserve his fuel as much as he wants, but he's going to be severely behind because he is much slower than everyone else as he tries to get to pit road here. But this tire failure may or may not work out for him in the end, but. It's a cube that has been pretty unspectacular all season besides one race, and that was Bristol Dirt, where he led a bunch of laps and lost out to Miku, who's doing even worse than him right now, because she's currently dead last in points. So, there's the leaders coming out of turn 3. A little bit of Z fighting on that texture for the safety barrier there, if you noticed it. But he comes down, and he's going to try and fix that damage. Work that sucker to death, as they say in Sonic CDs. So BV and Chow, the first ones to pit, both off cycle compared to our leaders. As Daisy taking a look for the lead. Chow now off of pit road. Ooh, she's got a bit of a run, but Among Us is still taking that outside line. Here comes Bob the Builder trying to take away second. She's still in the bottom lane. He might get it here if she doesn't block the top, but she does. What a move. And now Daisy loses a lot of momentum here, but the worst time for them to pit would be around lap 38, 37, or 39, because that would mean they probably wouldn't be able to make it to the end on fuel. So we might end up having a fuel mileage finish here today, if that's the case. Or if they pit around the halfway mark, then that could be pretty sketchy for these teams. Now Bob the Builder trying to get around Daisy, but Daisy says, "Nuh-uh, you're not passing me." And now he's in the picture once again, but like last time, he might actually flub the corner and lose a bunch of momentum again. Daisy will probably be a casualty of new regulations for next season, because next season we will only be having one limit of team members per team, so we will not have multi-card teams like Pecorine and Racelyn and Cole and Daisy, just to make things a little bit more fair. Now Bob the Builder making a run once again to get around Daisy, and yet again she's on the outside line. And once again, no passing will be made right there. This pack right here is seeing a lot of action as Sonic and Shadow going at it yet again this season. These two have battled quite a few times up front during the course of the season, and now they're doing it again, but Squid Games and Dumb Cat now actually moving up quite a bit. 4th, 5th, and 6th. So Dumb Cat might actually move up to 5th within this lap if he gets past his DK here. No, he doesn't. But now he's going to go 3 wide, potentially 4 wide. No. Very close. Shadow almost made it 4 wide there, but DK is going to have the advantage on that outside line with that grip. And he's going to get away and be in 5th place. Followed by Squid Games and Shadow. And Dumb Cat was briefly up in the 6th place position, but he's going to lose that spot. And now Sonic and Hee Hee Ha are on the attack right behind him. Oh my god. Chow blew another tire. Are you kidding me? He's slow again. Are you kidding me? He blew another tire. It's the same one. And it's the same damage too. Are you kidding me? He lost a wheel. They got to fire his crew chief for 4 weeks. Man, if his already dismal season could not get any worse. It is just horrible. Oh, don't stop on track. Okay, good. Now he's going to actually try to make a proper entrance on the pit road, but he's taking that same line he did earlier, but just cannot catch a break this season with problems. 46 of Bob the Builder's on pit road. That might be our first taker on the green flag pit stop, so is Hubris and Jinx. So yeah, green flag pit stops are now underway. It looks like Chow will actually be on cycle with them, so maybe that strategy will not play out after losing the tire again. But Bob the Builders are first of our leaders to actually come down pit road. Let's see if either Daisy or Among Us come down. Yes, they both will come down pit road. I actually don't know if the pit stalls are randomized here because I didn't texture the pit stalls, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's see which one of those two actually come out. A lot of them are coming down now. So yeah, like I said, lap 38, 39, this is when they're pitting. And this might actually be bad for them because they might not be able to make it to the end of the race. If this goes green all the way to the end, then we might actually have a fuel mileage finish. Oh, they're both pitting at the exact same time. Daisy needs a real good pit stop here to get out ahead of Among Us to get that lead spot back. She's slightly slower than him here. Let's see if she actually gets out ahead of him. Ooh, Among Us had a slightly faster drop off the jack, and he's going to get away. Shadow's actually going to get out to 3rd. See if anyone else comes down pit road. I guess is in. Squidward is in, so is Cubendorf. I think Amori Jr., Amori Sr., DK, and Hee Hee Ha, which are some of the few that have not pitted yet, are now coming down. Dragalia Lost is in, so is Sheepmobile, Bloodclot, and Eggdog. Raccoon and Meloetta are now in, so is Raceland and Packmobile. There goes Sans Club, Gun, Melee Fox, and Imposter. Oh, no, Maiden's just collided with the 11 of Bloodclot on pit road, trying to get to his stall. That might cause him to lose some air. That might cause problems for both of them later in the race, but Amori Cube was the leader when the cycles had started, so I think they all have pitted now, I believe, so. Actually, I have no idea who the new leader is going to be, because it's all scrambled now. I just hope no one goes bowling coming out of pit road. There's Among Us, Daisy, and Bob the Builder all together once again. There's Amori Cube now 4th, Shadow 5th, Squid Game 6th, DK 7th, Hee Hee Ha 8th, 9th is Dumb Cat, and 10th is Sanic. So the top 10 remains mostly the same. Lightning McQueen was the last cube who had not pitted yet, and now he comes down to serve his stop. No tires, just gas for that 95, I think. Although he does need to make it to the end with his tires, so he probably needs to take tires. Ooh, 44 of Daisy has a problem. Fuel leak for the 44, running second place. She might have to come down pit road. Oh, what a disaster for Daisy. Running second, has a fuel leak, and now she has to come down pit road. And another heartbreak for that 44 team, as she cannot win a race to save her life. And she's going to plummet even further in points after this for sure. Oh, and the 16 is having an issue as well. That's the racer. He is a tire issue, but now no damage, so he might be okay, but... Ooh. Actually, this might be good for Daisy, because now she's 3 laps better on fuel and tires than everyone else is. So if everyone else pits before she does and runs out of fuel before the end of this race, oh, never mind, she's taking a long time. She might not actually make it off the pit road before the leaders come down. There's Among Us coming out of turn 3. Is she going to keep her lap? I don't think she is. No, I don't think she's going to make it, so tough luck for Daisy, who's just had bad luck after bad luck spell this season. I remember last week and Igus got stuck on pit road with a bugged pit stall and could not finish the race. Even though she was still classified as running, she did not finish the race due to being in that bugged pit stall. So if Daisy has that same problem, she might be the last car winner if we have no mechanical failures. But she is still stuck on pit road. You know, maybe for next season I might do a thing where it's like you choose to get a boost in your like performance stats like reliability, engine, aerodynamics, and chassis. I think it would be pretty neat. Because that's what they do in another league of mine that runs something similar to this. But Omori Cube led 2 laps under that green flag pit stop period. So he's got a little bit of ways to go before the end of this race. But now the real question is, will they all be able to make it to the end on fuel if there are no cautions? They're running pretty good right now. They're running very clean. We haven't seen much contact. We probably did have contact with the BB, which is why they're a lap down. So, but not a lot of scuffles, not a lot of crazy racing. They're running very clean right now. So now the 28 of Cole's actually in the top 20. These two both, Cole and Bloodclap, both got into the bubble for the chase after last race. So they need some decent finishes here today to actually stay in the bubble, be potentially in contention for that chase bid. Because there's still a couple of short tracks, a super speedway, and a road course left on the schedule. So there's still a lot of places for talent to be held. I believe Bloodclot in the 11 is one of those road course ringers on this track, as Cole trying to take a dive to the bottom of Eggdog for position. And he will not get it. Eggdog stays ahead of the 28. Heber is their points leader, running 15th. Bob the Builder now running 2nd. If he continues to run as well as he is right now, he could very well take that points lead away. Oh, he's making a run on Among Us, though, for the lead. Can he get past him? Don't think he can, as he still needs to take that outside lane to actually get around him. They're kind of catching up to Chow, who is lap traffic, but I don't think he'll make much of an impact anytime soon. As Shadow and Omori Sr. and DK now going at it. Actually, all 3 of these cubes did really well in the test races I ran. Actually, the first test race I did for the thumbnail had a wreck on lap 1 because Raccoon got on the apron, spun out, and took out a bunch of cubes. But I had to reset that race, and after that I had to get another race for the screenshot, and that one went along pretty well. Thankfully this is not a wreck fest, because both of the test races I did prior to that picture shoot thing were wreck fests, so I'm glad things are going into the right direction for this actual race. As DK trying to make a run around Shadow. That inside line might actually work out for that 98. He's going to be blocked off. Oh, never mind. Shadow still has the advantage in turns. In turn 2. He's going to go way down. And no, he will not keep that spot. And Bob the Builder has passed Among Us for the lead. The question is, how long will he be able to keep it? And will he be able to make it to the end on fuel to win 3 races in a row? Which seemed unprecedented at the time, at the start of the season, considering how many new winners we had. But now the 53 is looking to take it back again. There's the view of the margin right there. 46 is still not clear. But he's got that outside line to help him out. Among Us actually gets a great... He breaks late in the corner. And he's going to get back in the back out front, but Bob the Builder will lead a lap and get 5 bonus points regardless. So it was a very smart move on his part. But these two definitely know how to pass, where Daisy definitely didn't. I believe she is now off of pit road. No, she's not off of pit road. Still fixing that oil leak issue. It's either she has a bugged pit stall or she will not make it to the end of this race without issues whatsoever. Oh, wow, Bob the Builder almost hit the wall there. Coming into the tunnel turn, right out of turn 3. Oh, Among Us slid up in the corner. Now the 46 is on the outside again, trying to take that lead away, and he does. But since these 3 are racing each other, that allows the 3 Musketeers back here to try and gain up. This group actually did gain on our leaders a little bit here, but they'll be racing each other. And now the 46 is out front once again for the 3rd week in a row. Ever since he lost that race at Fontana, and ever since he lost that... 31 of no maidens with an engine failure. Where is he? He's on pit road now. He must have had it right out of turn 3, because he immediately went to pit road, and he's going to try and get that stuff fixed. But problems for a Cube who has won... and is in the chase, pretty decent in points right now, but this will definitely be a big hit to No Maidens, who has not had very many DNFs this season. He will fix that damage, I believe. Yes, he will try and fix that damage. Here comes Among Us trying to take that lead back again. Will he break late again? No, he will not. 46 still has the advantage coming into the corner. Oh, and Among Us really messed up the corner there. He's going to lose a lot of momentum. Goodness. He might actually have a problem. He is way slower than the 46 is. And that's going to allow the 2 to draft him and potentially catch up and pass him. And that'll allow the 3 and the 98 to catch up to the 2. Ooh, problems. Oh, it's just 38 out of pit road. Or 31. Oh, is he out? Yep, he is out. That will be your last car winner, ladies and gentlemen. Or No Maidens is out of the race with an engine failure. Which, I didn't even think that would happen, because that was a .3, but I guess there's a 30% chance to roll a DNF, and he did. So, oof. He will not finish this race. But if Daisy doesn't get off of pit road, then Daisy might actually be the last car winner. But now Maury Sr. has actually caught up to Among Us. The overall battle for the lead between the top 5 has shrunk quite a bit. And now he's looking for 2nd place. Can he get around the 53 who has been so dominant early on in this race? He messes up in that corner, and now here comes Shadow to try and go for 3rd. A win for Shadow today would be big, especially since he's now no longer last in points and actually could still be eligible for the chase if he wins and has a bunch of consistent races, because he's been having a lot of good races recently, so he might actually have a shot to make it into the chase if he continues to do well. And if he does make it in, I believe he could be a strong championship contender, because he's been wicked fast on some of these tracks. His main issue, though, is his reliability. This has been a top concern this whole season. DK no Mori Cube still battling it out for 5th now as Shadow moves to 3rd. Now could potentially battle the 53 and the 46 for the lead, but he just needs to know how to pass them correctly on the outside. As I said, the battle for the lead has intensified, with 5 now in the running instead of 2 like it was earlier. Chow has passed BV for that last place spot. BV's probably got some aerodynamic damage causing her to be slow. Same with Melee Fox, I don't know why he's so slow. McQueen and Imposter going at it yet again. These two are involved in a wreck at Montreal together, so they're definitely not kindest of friends. Ooh, another alert on the chat box. It's the 92 of Melee Fox. Blows a tire. He's going to take the access road, swings way wide, and he's going to come to pit road. Closest that 92 ever came to a win is when he led the most laps at Richmond, but he did not end up winning that race. But the gap between the lead was 1.47 seconds for this pack. It is closed up a little bit now, so... But now that all these cubes are pitting, they are now actually better on fuel than those who haven't pitted just yet. So Melee Fox can make it to the end on fuel. And I believe No Maidens will as well. But No Maidens is further back. He's actually a lap... Oh no, he's out of the race. But Melee Fox can still make it to the end if he doesn't get... Well, he's already lapped, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But someone up front has a problem. And that could... Or before the pit stop, second round of pit stops supposedly begin, then they'll be good for sure, but it's still unsure whether this group will make it to the end on fuel, so we'll just have to wait and see towards the end of this race. Let's see if Shadow will actually catch up to either of these two, as Among Us now making a run on the inside. That camera angle is so much more daunting for TV2. Another thing on the chat box, it's the 63 of Dumb Cat. Problems for the 63, engine damage 0.1. Still slow, but they still got a pit. He's running in the 10th position, but if he survives this engine procedure and makes it to the end on fuel, then that could work out for him, because he's running in the top 10, so he has a decent, he'll probably would have a decent advantage over the leaders. If he doesn't spend a lot of time on pit road, he just needs to not get lapped, and he'll be A-okay. I talk about fuel mileage finishes on Pocono, but Pocono, as of recent, has had a fair share of fuel mileage finishes, especially in 2020, where we had a doubleheader 2 weeks in a row. We had 2 separate Pocono races. And, oh wow, what a block by Raceland there in the 80. But we've had, in 2020, we had 2 separate instances. One where we had a Cars 1 moment where Kyle Larson lost the tire on the last lap, hit the turn 3 wall, and that allowed his teammate to go on and win. And in the second race, Denny Hamlin ran out of fuel on the final lap in the final corner, and that allowed his teammate to go on and win. So it was a very... Both of those races were boring, by the way. But the endings were one for the history books for sure. But Shadow... Oh, wow. Among Us has fallen all the way back to 5th. He must have gotten caught on the outside line. Now Shadow's looking for the lead. And so is Donkey Kong, who's right on the bubble like I mentioned earlier. He needs a win to get in. And he's a strong contender to actually get into the chase. Looks like Dumb Cat is going to finish this race as he's off of pit road. But he will be a lap down. So who knows if the strategy will actually work out, as Donkey Kong trying to make a move to the inside. Takes a bit of a dive on Shadow, but Shadow's going to have the outside line. And Among Us has fallen back quite a bit. Ooh, man. Shadow took it deep into that corner, lost a little bit of momentum, and now Bob the Builder's going to get out ahead a little bit, but that was very close there for Shadow and DK. And now, Omori Jr. trying to... Oh, there'd be 3 wide in turn 1, I believe. But Shadow's on the outside, so he'll have the advantage. But Omori Cube is going to back out of that deal. And Shadow gets way out ahead of DK, gets an amazing run. So can he pass Bob the Builder? Because all the positions in the past have had some pretty decent battles for points. But the lead, we haven't had a lot of leaders in this race so far, so maybe Shadow can be the 4th different leader in this race. With only 22 laps to go here at Pocono. Only about a quarter of the way left. Let's see if he can do it. He's going to go not dive for the inside. He's going to put some pressure on the 46. He actually dives late. But Bob the Builder still has that advantage. Going to get more car lanes ahead of Shadow as Shadow drops back. And here comes Omori Sr. to try and get past him now. Omori Sr. has already won a race this year. If he wins here, then the chase lots would be no different. But he is the lowest ranked Cuban points that has a win right now because the racer fell out, so... Actually, the racer's running 16th right now. Not bad at all for that 16. He really needs some good positions here to stay in the chase with that win that he got at Daytona all the way back in race 1. So you could say he has seen a pretty big drought since his last race in Victory Lane. Jinx is now the last cube in the top 10 after Dumb Cat had to fall out, but a cat has been replaced with another cat to gatekeep the top 10 as Trolling now looking for yet another top 10 this season. He's pretty much the king of stealing away top 10s at the last second. Him and Sheepmobile have definitely done that a few times this season, but Trolling is definitely the king of top 10 finishes so far this season. He's been very consistent with that marker. Let's see if he can actually pass Jinx later in this race, if he doesn't run out of fuel towards the end. We had the threat of fuel at Milwaukee, but only one of them ran out of fuel, and that was So Retro. And since then, we haven't had any chances for a fuel mileage finish. DK trying to make it 3 wide for the lead in turn 1. Very bold move. Who's going to get out of this one? Shadow's actually going to get the advantage on the inside. And he's going to get away with the lead, but for how long? As he is not clear of the 46 of Bob the Builder. And Bob the Builder has the advantage on the outside. What a move by Shadow, though, to get that brief lead position as he cuts in front of DK. And both him and DK will lose some position there. As now DK is going to take the outside with help from the 53 and try and catch up to the 46 and take the lead away. Ooh, Shadow loses a lot of momentum in the corner. Now DK's gaining more and more on the leader. This is the best chance all year Donkey Kong has had to win a race. He came decently close last time at New Hampshire, but as he's going for the lead now, with help from the 53, but it's not going to be enough as Bob the Builder still has that outside line to help him. He is not clear the 53. Now he is. Now Maury Jr.'s back up in the battle again. Going through the tunnel turn. Now Among Us will pass Shadow. Oh, actually brake checks the 2. Brakes a little early going into turn 3. I think Daisy might have a bugged pit stall. Oops. Or maybe she's just having a lot of trouble getting that oil leak fixed, like Igus did last week. Now DK is potentially in the battle to win this race, but then again, like I mentioned, they all count. I'm still skeptical on whether these cubes can make it on fuel or not, because this track is very long, so... And it's had a fair share of fuel mileage finishes. Also, it's 2016, where I believe Matt Kenseth won after his Toyota teammates ran out of fuel, and he ended up going to the win. But Pocono has seen his fair share of good finishes in the past. Seen some good racing as well, but also, like I mentioned earlier, some nasty crashes. But thankfully, we have seen 0 today. As the battle for the lead is shrinking up once again, DK takes a hard dive to the inside. Side by side with the 46, but the 46 is much faster in that grippier outside lane. And Shadow's going to have a bit of an advantage as well. He's going to get ahead of DK here. Almost brushes the wall. It looks like he brushed the wall, but no, he did not. As now Mori Sr. trying to go to the bottom as well. And now Shadow's back on the point for the lead. But now they're catching up to lap traffic. That's the 66 of BV they're catching up to now. His last cube on the lead lap in 36th. What in the world is a Mori Jr. doing? Or Mori Sr. trying to go way on the outside. Ooh, almost made a 3-wide with Shadow, and he does. 3-wide for the lead, potentially. DK gets the outside lane. He's going to get a great run on Bob the Builder here. Excuse me. And DK will be the winner of that exchange, and now he's on the point. Among Us is hanging back, just waiting for something to happen. Squid Game's now in 6th, 7th is Sanic, 8th Doge Cube, 9th Hihiha, and 10th is Jinx. But Trolling is potentially going to try and pass Jinx in a matter of laps. Shadow trying to make a move on the inside. Can he get past DK here and potentially to the lead? DK's right behind Bob the Builder. They're going to try and make it 3-wide for the lead. No, maybe not. As Shadow's going to push DK in turn 1. Ooh, DK's going to slow him up though. Is it yet again that outside lane is going to work out? Now it's going to work out for Mori Sr. He gets a great run. Might get back to 2nd once again. And he will. As DK slows up even more. And here comes the 53 with a massive run and tunnel turn. Now the gap for the lead has widened out a little bit as DK continues to lose spots right on the way bottom of the inside lane. Now how long will Bob the Builder be able to hold off these leaders, and when will he pit? Will he have to pit before the end of this race, or will he not be able to? As he got a bad run in turn 2, and here comes Mori Sr. for the lead. 46 is not clear, but he's won the outside lane yet again. Can the two try and get past him here by late braking? No. Slows up yet again, and Bob the Builder will once again get away. Not really finding many opportunities to pass here at this track, as now DK is trying to pass Among Us here on the outside, and he swiftly does. If you hear a little bit of music, that's my stepdad probably playing music upstairs. He likes to do that sometimes. Oh, now the two making a run for the lead. Has to do some late braking here. Can he get it done? Still can't get it done. Had a bit of an advantage in turn 1, but no. He's going to be right behind the 46 here entering turn 2. And Shadow's going to be there to help in case he wants to help. He's going to not have enough momentum or speed. Bob the Builder has been doing as well as Among Us did when he was leading out front and blocking them all for the lead. But like I said earlier, this may not even matter in the end. This may not even matter in the end, as all these leaders may not be able to make it to the end on fuel, as we're still not sure of that. But now Shadow's going to go back to 2nd. Bob the Builder has not messed up a single corner since he took the lead, and he is really getting out there. We're not really getting out there as they're going 3 wide again for 3rd. Here comes the 53 on the inside. Mori Cube cuts it right in front of the 53 of Among Us, and now DK is going to still have the advantage here. Bob the Builder looking to make it 3 in a row. Actually, we've crossed lap 69. Nice. Oh, if that picked up on the mic, sound off in chat. Whew, that was a good one. But now, Shadow the Hedgehog trying to make a run on the inside. Oh, we got a message on the box. 66 of BV's on pit road. So, yeah, remember, BV's off cycle. Only taking right side tires. Yeah, BV's very off cycle, so she's only taking right side tires. So, yeah, she might actually be trying to get to the end of the race. So, Shadow now actually has an advantage. He's going to take the lead away, but Bob the Builder's still on the outside. They're going 3 wide in turn 2. Ooh, Bob the Builder's slower in the corner. The 95 of McQueen has lost an engine. Uh-oh, he did not come to pit road. That might actually be a caution if he stops, which is not what our leaders need right now. Ooh, this is really bad for our leaders if he comes up the track. But now Shadow has taken the lead. Is now ahead of Bob the Builder. Oh, I don't know if McQueen's actually going to make it. He's got a long way to go until he manages to get to pit road. And who knows if the caution will even come out, because there's a lot of runoff area for him to stop. So if he does step on a track, he might be able to stop in the grass and he'll be fine. But here come the leaders watching the 95 blowing up right in front of them. Shadow's still out front. Now Bob the Builder falls to third. And here comes DK potentially trying to take the lead away. McQueen in the grass. I believe he will make it to pit road. Actually, I don't think he will make it to pit road. Now Squid Games and Sanic are now in the picture for the lead, because they've caught up to our leaders now. Ooh, this could get really interesting. If they all make it to the end on field, then we could have a very good finish on our hands. But now Bob the Builder right behind Donkey Kong yet again. Where is McQueen on track right now? Is he stopped? No, he's on the runoff area. He might actually make it. Yeah, he's still got the speed to make it a pit road, so I think he might be okay. Obviously, probably going to be out of the race, but which is unfortunate. But hey, free spots for everyone that was behind him, I suppose, even though not many people were behind him in the first place. This is the biggest race of Shadow the Hedgehog's life. If he can just make it to the end on fuel. We're closing in towards the end of this race. It just needs to go perfect for him. As McQueen now makes it on pit road, and he is done with an ignition failure on that 95. He will finish 39th. But now it's between Shadow and DK potentially for the lead. Uh-oh, another alert. It's the 0-1 of Squid Games, who is just in 5th place. Tire failure for the 0-1. And he falls to the apron. Will he make it to pit road? Uh-oh, he's slowing, isn't he? He's slowing. He might actually have to stop. Will the caution come out for that? He's right on the apron. No one's going to hit him, but will the caution flag come out for this? Stopping the track. No caution. So the 0-1 will get back to pit road safe and sound, and we will continue to race till the end of this race under green. A bad break for Squid Games, who has not won a race this year, needs to stay above the cut line to get into the chase, and he is on that cut line. He's actually right below the cut line, so this will be a huge blow to his chances to get in the chase, with only 5 races left in the regular season after this. Shadow has a bit of a lead ahead of DK, but it's all just a matter of when he pits next. Because this could be the second ever race actually to go caution free, besides Dirt Bristol. Or not caution free. We had a race go caution free in the past. I just don't remember which one it was. I think it was Kansas. No, it was not Kansas. It was almost Darlington, I think, but we had a late caution at Darlington. But this is the biggest run of Shadow's life, now getting a bit of an advantage over Donkey Kong with 6 laps to go at Pocono. It could be shaping up for another one of those classic Pocono finishes here if they could just make it to the end on fuel. But if he manages to run out of fuel before the end of this race, it'd be another bit of heartbreak for an already heartbreaking season for that 3 after debuting at the Milwaukee Mile. But can he make it to the end on fuel? Now actually getting way ahead of DK here. We actually have a new fastest lap. It's by Goots of all people. Running 19th right now, but has run the fastest lap of the race. A 52.303. That must have been directly after pit stops. And he must have had some help from the draft, as he is now running with Raceland and Sheetmobile. But this is the biggest race of, like I said, Shadow the Hedgehog. So close to victory lane all season. Probably could have had like maybe 3 wins if he didn't have mechanical problems, because he has been so close. He's led a lot of laps for how badly he's done, but those mechanical problems have just caused problems. And now DK and Bob the Builder battling for second, but DK's got the outside lane, so he'll have the inherent advantage. Sanic is now in 6th, Hee Hee Ha 7th, 8th is, ooh, we got an alert. It's the 07 of Hubris on pit road. Oh, some of the cubes are starting to run out of fuel, I think. Hubris is in, Jinx is in, uh-oh. They gotta really, I think they all might not make it to the end on fuel, because Hubris is pitting now. Now Bob the Builder's coming to pit road. So is Among Us. Uh-oh. Are they all going to run out of fuel? This is way too early for, this might actually end up being a fuel minus finish. This is bad news for Shadow. But great news for those who pitted earlier, like Chow and Dumb Cat, who are lapped down. Beavy, Melee Fox, they're all lapped down. They can get their laps back and potentially win the race if these guys get around them, as some of these cubes are coming down pit road. Shadow just needs to make it to the end on fuel. Can he do it? Is someone else going to steal it away, though? Now Fear is the last cube in the top 10. He's slowing up in the corner. He's coming down pit road. Shadow, our leader, now out of fuel. Now Donkey Kong takes the lead ahead of Amori Sr. 3 laps to go. Who's going to run out of fuel next? You've got 2 cubes that have won races behind them. Hee Hee Ha and Shadow. Or Hee Hee Ha and Doge Cube, who have already pitted. Now who's going to run out of fuel next? We still have 3 to go. We could still have a crazy winner. Yeah, they're all taking splash and goes to try and make it out of pit road as fast as possible and try and still potentially be in contention if all of our leaders pit. DK's slowing up a little bit in turn 2, and now he comes down pit road. So does Amori Jr. And Hee Hee Ha is staying out now. Now he will be a leader. And remember, Hee Hee Ha was cucked in the past from a win because he ran out of fuel in the last lap. And guess who it was to? It was to the 19. But the 19 is pretty far behind, so I don't think she'll have much of a chance to get up front if the 5 pits. But we have 2 laps to go. Can the 5 make it to the end on fuel? Because second place now, I believe... Oh god, it will be Fear? Or did everyone else come down pit road? Is he the only one left? Then it might actually still go to Shadow if everyone pits. Ooh, he's getting PTSD right now to what happened last race where he ran out of fuel at that Fontana race in Season 2. That race is still up on YouTube and you can watch that finish whenever you want. But now, will the 5 come down pit road? No, he doesn't. White flag last lap. Potentially racing redemption in his hands this weekend for the 5. I believe Miku's running second? No. Definitely not someone I'd expect to be up front after starting in the top 10, but he has to make it to the end of the race. He can still win the race if he makes it off of pit road, because he's... Melawetta is now in second. Eggdog is third, Shadow 4th. But can he make it to the end without having to pit? Meloetta needs to make up 20 seconds of time to actually pass him if he does come down. He's not coming down pit road, and the fuel mileage redemption will be in his hands. The 5 of Hee 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 Haw will win again in Season 1, and he'll do it at Pocono. And what an exciting finish to this race. Is anyone else coming down the last lap? No. Looks like Meloetta and Eggdog will capitalize on stretching out the fuel. Actually, did Meloetta pit? I think Meloetta did pit. So Eggdog's going to finish second. Yes, Eggdog will finish second. What a finish from the 20. So the 5 and the 20 both capitalized on fuel. We're still waiting for everyone to finish this race, as Meloetta has just pitted. But what a topsy-turvy finish to this race. As victory once again out of Shadow the Hedgehog's hands, and it goes to another winner this season. That's the 5 Hee 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 Haw, who wins again here at Pocono. Session is now complete, so let's look at the official standings. Hee Hee Haw wins, Eggdog gets second, Shadow gets third, Amori Cube fourth, DK fifth, Drop the Builder sixth, Among Us seventh, Stanek eighth, Doge Cube ninth, and Sans Club capitalizes and gets a top 10. Hubris actually finishes 12th. Good finish for her after starting mid-pack. And Trolling, unfortunately, does not get a top 10. He got very close, though. He's 4/10 off. Only 2 retirements, but caution-free this whole race. Definitely not what I expected, but a very interesting finish, to say the least, to this race. But thank you all for tuning in to today's race at Pocono. We will be returning tomorrow night for Nazareth, which is basically Pocono, but smaller. Let's take a little sneak peek at what we got. Well, not much of a sneak peek, but yeah, Nazareth is up next tomorrow, so I will see you then. Good night.